Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast formerly known as 100 Yards of Podcast. It's a nice rainy day out here, um, out here at West Point, and I'm joined again, as always, by Marshall. Marshall, got any initial statements?
I will say it is a sunny 63 right here in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. You are missing out.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, one of my favorite songs by my favorite artist, Mac Air, "Sunny in 62." You know, 1 degree off.
Shout out
Song
Mac
gets you in the
Ayers.
feels.
Shout out Mac Ayers. Can we get a retweet on that? Can we get a retweet for that?
Probably not, but I think he's a Knicks fan because he tweeted or he posted on his Instagram story. Either NBA makes Julius Randle all or third team all league or we riot. So I guess he's a Knicks fan.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Knicks Mafia is coming out strong.
Have you seen those memes? It's like the Nets had to get all these players, especially after LaMarcus Aldridge. They're like, oh, the Nets got to put all this just to counter this, and they got like Julius Randle, Mr. Julius Randle. So funny.
Yeah, I mean, I love Knicks Mafia. It's just it's funny. They're funny, especially when the team was doing bad. But the Knicks are back. It's good. It's good to see. What's also back is Patriot League football, especially Bucknell. Bucknell won their first game. Things are looking good for me and the Bison. But that's not the point. This Saturday, one of the more underrated rivalries in college football will be played again. Marshall, what is the most played rivalry in all of college football?
The most played? Oh, God. It's probably, I'll bet you it's a rivalry that probably isn't even played anymore is what it is.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
God, what conference is it in?
The Patriot League.
Oh, well, let me see what hoodie you're ripping right there. That might give us a little indication,
no,
huh?
That's not it. That's not it. No.
Well, you're going to have to enlighten me because honestly, I have no idea.
Okay, well, the most played rivalry is the rivalry Lafayette versus Lehigh, which has been played a total of 155 times. And that's because if you're doing the math, yes, that is more than the amount of years that college football has been played. It's because these teams play twice a year, and they played it twice a year for several years for a rivalry starting in 1884. And these schools are, I believe, like 14 miles apart or something like that, very close together. Well, that's happening this Saturday amidst the FCS spring schedule. And it's going to be aired on local TV, but I figured that CBS Sports Network, with their deal with the Patriot League, is losing a chance to broadcast that not only on the CBS Sports Network, but also on Big CBS. Invite friend of the podcast, Rich Waltz, on the call for just truly a momentous rivalry, because that's a big day for CBS Sports. And like, why not do like a wall-to-wall all-day sports fest? Because you got the Final Four, you got your two games at night, and then why not do the lead-in, have the rivalry be the lead-in for that game? So, Marshall, I want to know your thoughts about this.
I want to make sure I heard you. You said Rich Waltz is going to call the rivalry?
No, he's not. But I'm saying he should.
Oh, he should, dude. That dude has been on a streak lately too. You were showing me the other day him calling that NCAA D2 championship. He called before that buzzer beater, electric call, absolutely electric. Rich Waltz, the man, living up to his name. But I have to say that lead up would be amazing, because think about it. What do you need? It's almost like when you're going for a night out with the boys, right? Let me put it this way: you're going for a night out with the boys. What do you do before it's like, because, you don't go to the club, you don't go to the bars until 11, 10, maybe earliest, right? So it's like, what are you doing before that? You're doing the pregame. What do we need for these tournament games? We need a pregame. We need a little Lafayette-Lehigh lead us in, get the crowd warmed up. They'll be like the opening band, right? And I mean, half the time, the opening band is even better than the main band. So that's what I want to see. I want to see a little, and you know what? It would do a little bit of college football history for all of these people too, right? I mean, I didn't even know that that's the oldest living route. That's crazy. That blows my mind. Why don't people know that? I think that'd be brilliant to have it on before.
Yeah, and I mean, the Patriot League and CBS Sports Network already have a deal for events. Most of the tournament was on, I think actually all the tournament was on CBS Sports Network. Actually, the semis and the championship game was on the CBS Sports Network. On April 17th, the conference championship game, the first and probably only ever, will be on CBS Sports Network too. So it's like, why not bring these events up to, CBS? And we've seen this spring the networks taking chances with, sporting events you wouldn't usually see on certain networks, whether it be HBCU football on ESPN and ESPN2 with Jackson State, and now Delaware State, who we're going to talk about next week in a crossover episode. But but that's for next week. Yeah, like, and also too with ABC airing women's basketball for the first time ever, something that's amazing to see. Why not? Like, why wouldn't CBS take a chance by putting these events? Because like, what good stuff does CBS have to air on a Saturday afternoon in the spring? Like, they don't have any baseball content, they don't have any basketball content, other than, of course, March Madness. But March Madness is over after the first week of April, so I mean, why not get an extra Patriot League game on April 10th and the championship game on April 17th?
I think how brilliant it would be too, because it's like if you can put it in front of an audience, like when you got eyeballs, like you're gonna have eyeballs for the tournament, right? And so if you start telling people that you have football on TV on a network that they can watch it on, like why wouldn't people watch it? Like I can just imagine like the dads of the world sitting there on their couch on a Sunday drinking a beer, and they're like, "Damn, there's some football on," you know? They're like, they probably don't know who the teams are. They probably don't know anything about the Patriot League, but they sure can get excited to watch a game. They may not do some kind of big all out game day party on a Saturday, but they're going to be sitting there. They'll probably turn it on. They may take a nap during it, but they'll turn it on.
Yeah, and that's a fair point for sure. Like, they'll turn it on. I mean, you got the gambling folks too. And I also think about as well, like the effect of America seeing, get Rich Waltz, calling these Patriot League games. Like, I remember you sent me a meme, either yesterday or Friday, that I'm going to reveal really quick with the audience here.
Let's see it.
Yeah, so this meme right here is what Marshall revealed to me.
We're screen sharing it. We're screen sharing it here with
we're screen sharing for the first time in a while. I mean, the meme says he literally just nutted at me and started watching Jim Nantz Masters intros. And I mean, imagine that. Like, imagine the memes is like just people watching Rich Waltz intros, broadcasting from Fisher Stadium on Easter weekend or Venerable Fitton Field, a place I've been as a kid. Just imagine the backdrop and, the rise for Rich Waltz's career after that. Friend of the podcast.
No, it'd be amazing. That's fun. We should do more. We got to do more memes on here more often. That's pretty good. Maybe that'll be the thumbnail for this week.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we both respect women. We just want to make that clear. Okay.
Omar, pull out your FBMA card just to prove it.
I got to prove it. I got to pony up here. Like, we respect women. It's a bit stuck in my phone wallet here. So give me a second. But yeah, we don't encourage anything but premarital eye contact. All right. We encourage that. So
like that. Faithful, the first word there, FBMA. Remember that.
Metal too. But
it's like an Amex right there. That's like an Amex Gold, but better.
It's better than an Amex. But I guess like to our point, just like looking to the future, as we've mentioned, I feel like a couple times before, like the clock is ticking for CBS to figure out like what to do when the SEC leaves. And this could be like sort of, I guess, a segue into like future content where it's like either CBS bows out, like big CBS bows out of college football broadcasts when they lose the SEC, because after that they got the MAC, but that's on a year-to-year basis. I'm not sure if that's a long-term deal. They have Conference USA long-term, a league that's lost a lot of its luster due to its sprawl and lack of really, I guess, national brand programs, even in the group of five. And they have the Mountain West, which, I mean, we sort of had a test case for the Mountain West on CBS because they have, I think, 2 or 3 games a year on CBS every year. On November 21st, San Diego State, Nevada aired at 3:30 after a bunch of SEC games got canceled. And that game drew a 0.6 rating, 859,000 viewers. And it competed with Cincinnati UCF on ESPN. A game on cable TV drew better than that, way better, with the 0.9 rating and 1.58 million viewers. They also competed with Wisconsin Northwestern, which was the second highest rated game of the day at 2.35 million viewers on ABC, or 2.35 rating and 4.25 million viewers on ABC. And on Fox at 3:30, let's see, did they outdraw that one?
Omar, it'd be an interesting move for CBS here.
What would it be?
What if they start moving? So it's like, say they lose the SEC, right? Say they're not able to build a new deal with them. What about if they take some of these, they pretty much like emphasize themselves as like almost like D2 or like a FCS kind of network, right? Like what if you start programming like Patriot League, Ivy League, And then I don't know what division is like North Dakota State in. Like I don't even know the divisions of FCS.
Missouri Valley Conference.
Right, like Missouri Valley or something, right? Because it's like those. I mean, obviously, like Missouri Valley, they draw people to their games. They'll probably draw viewers, right? And then you start producing like Ivy League and you start producing like Patriot League. You'll produce like, I mean, Ivy League, at least, people will recognize, and Patriot League, you get history like this. I mean, it could be kind of an interesting niche for them to really like kind of like move into. Like I could kind of almost see it. Like you start marketing it, you put some of your bigger announcers on it. Like people could get excited about that. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that as well. I think another element of that could be like having like a regional slate, like we see in the NFL. And as we saw, it was the norm for college football up until really the mid 2000s,
Yeah.
probably. Like, I mean, even like the late 2010s, where you have like, some regional action where, and I'd hate to say it about the Mountain West, but I just don't think the Mountain West can draw on the East Coast, and that'll probably piss off a bunch of Mountain West people, and like that goes against what they wanted with the CBS deal.
Sorry, nobody wants to watch Nevada, like Fresno State at 1:00 Eastern.
Yeah, like I mean, the only draw I can see is like Boise State, maybe like for a national TV game. But it's like, why not have the Mountain West try to control the West up to like west of the Mississippi, and on the East Coast, put on, I guess Fordham, Bucknell, for the New York and Philadelphia markets, and then in the Southern markets, maybe like a Conference USA game. Like do like those regional slates and optimize really what each market's getting in terms of viewers, like show regionally relevant games to those audiences. And I know the conferences are going to hate that. I know probably a bunch of people, by saying this, I might become as much of a villain as the people that say we need a group of 5 playoff, which I hate hearing that. And I know they're probably going to hate regionalizing broadcasts.
You might become as much of a villain as the UConn fans.
Oh yeah. Don't put me in that position. Yeah. I mean, even UConn, like have UConn be a part of that. I'm sure they would hate that as well, but if you give UConn a chance to control the New York City market, like
maybe, I mean, dude, even beyond that, scoop up the independents, like on a TV contract.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I'm sure Notre Dame already has their own, and BYU has their own, obviously. But it's like, what does that leave you? Liberty, New Mexico State, UConn, Army. Who am I missing?
UMass.
UMass, right?
Yeah.
And any other, I guess, independent. That'd be kind of interesting too. Shit, maybe you promote a little bit of cross conference play here. Drop a little UMass Holy Cross.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, you're bringing back some bad memories. 2008 season against UMass at home, Holy Cross. Let's see, I think Holy Cross tied the game with like a minute or 2 minutes left to go. Holy Cross's kicker kicks it out of bounds. UMass drives for game-ending field goal. Very, very frustrating time in the life of 9-year-old me. But yeah, no, like I think it's a great idea for sure, and I think possibly a direction that CBS can go is taking advantage of the service academies, because like, and I know like that seems like a sort of slanted view from my perspective, but it's like, who else do you have other than like the Mountain West and like the occasional like Boise State game that is under your control? Because Boise State home games are under Fox Sports 1 and Fox. But it's like, why not have like an Army or Navy game like each week at 3:30? Because I don't think, actually, let's see. I think maybe once the SEC or once ESPN gets the SEC, like they'll sort of control that 3:30 again, like the CBS slot does. But like, why not like compete with like Big Noon Kickoff with like the Service Academy game of the week?
Okay.
With Army, Duke, and then whatnot, like follow that up with like a Mountain West or Conference USA game. Like just have those be like reverse mirrored, which like have one portion of the country get it on CBS, the other portion gets it on CBS Sports Network. Something that like ESPN's been doing since 2006, really, and it works.
Yeah, no, that'd actually be super interesting. And it's like true too, because it's like, what does CBS have to do now? Like now that assuming they don't keep the SEC, it's like they're gonna have to do something to differentiate themselves, because at some point it's just you're serving an inferior product in a similar way as other people, like at a similar price. It's like, economically speaking, like nobody's gonna come to you. So they needed, this diversification plan. They need to do like you mentioned, like that's an interesting plan. Like, but something has got to change for them.
Yeah, and for sure, like I think if they can talk about really, because I'd like to see like maps of like how these ratings do Like I'm looking at sportsmediawatch.com, which has ratings all the way back to 2012 for like the top rated games of each week. I like to see how like a game like Wisconsin Northwestern does in, California or like down south. I mean, I want to see how those do. I mean, surely I don't think it could be that great when you have like other Pac-12 games happening at that time, or like, San Diego State, Nevada out on the West Coast that week.
Sure.
But yeah, like why not promote yourself as being a network that has the best game for like your region, because if with the inventory that they have, I doubt that people in say Norfolk, Virginia with Old Dominion and Conference USA will care about Boise State, Fresno State, or likewise with people in the Pacific time zone caring about, if they end up carrying more Patriot League games, caring about Colgate versus Lehigh on the East Coast. So like, why not have like the most, and I know it's about visibility in regions, but the only reason you need like visibility is like to have footholds. I mean,
Sure.
realistically, the Mountain West isn't going to expand to the Northeast. Neither is Conference USA. So it's like, what do those eyes like matter to you if you're not going to, be there?
Yeah. And even at that, it'd be interesting to see like, so if you have like, who are some big like East Coast? So like say we're like having like a Clemson, I don't know, who's like a more North team that's like draws from the ACC, like who might draw that New York market of interest, right?
Like, I mean, Syracuse, but Syracuse has like been
That's what I'm saying.
trash.
Like, I don't think Syracuse, like, but I guess my point is like, so say you have like a good East Coast game, right? And then say, even if they retain the SEC, let's say they have like, I don't know, like Alabama, Ole Miss, right? Like that, even Alabama, Ole Miss, I feel like would probably have a hard time competing on that Northeast corridor with, something that's more attractive. And so why not, like, even if it was like something like a Fordham or like maybe like a UConn, like, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, the New York City market and really like most of the Northeast, it's very like bound for the taking for like anyone really. And again, too, the Patriot League schedules a lot of Ivy League schools. So it's like, you have regional games like, Yale, Holy Cross, or like Harvard versus Lafayette or something like that, where it's like, yeah, you have a brand like boosting the viability and attractiveness of that game. And I'm not saying that every game on CBS needs to be like regionalized. Like you can do that like they had in the old days, where it's like 12 and 3:30. Like it's funny looking back at the sports forum that I'm on with all the regional schedules, how like you have like a whole bunch of like big regional slates, and occasionally you have like national TV 3:30 a certain game, and you look at those promos where it's like regional slate followed by this quarterback versus this quarterback on like the purists, however many are still alive, might enjoy that.
And it could be cool too, because I think Patriot League especially has some of the coolest mascots, or even just like FCS in general. Like I'm thinking like specifically Bowdoin Polar Bears. Come on now. That's a sick mascot. Like I feel like there's some room to like move with these like sick mascots they have that are just totally unique.
Yeah, I mean that's true for sure. Maybe do like a sort of like play where it's like who would win in like Bison versus Rams.
What is this, Mike Leach press conference?
That's what it could turn into. Like we have the animal enthusiasts,
Oh my goodness.
Invite an animal enthusiast into the booth, and they're like, like in a zoologist perspective, a bison will defeat a ram easily, but that's not what I'm seeing on the field right now.
What would win, a leopard or a crimson?
Exactly, like just like stuff like that. But I mean, that might turn I guess those broadcasts into sort of like a Nickelodeon type broadcast.
Oh my! Hey, like, hey, people love the Slime Zone, man.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it.
What was it? Mitch Trubisky, first and only quarterback to have ever won an MVP. Come on, that's electric.
Yeah,
that's electric.
It is electric. That's true. I mean, yeah, Mitch, he's a franchise quarterback, and they got a straight up stable out there in Buffalo. Quarterback factory.
I just can't wait until it's like 15 years from now, and it's gonna be like a meme on whatever people are using as the equivalent of Twitter in 15 years. It's gonna be like, why was there ever a playoff game on Nickelodeon back in the day?
I don't think it's going away, honestly, like because the kids were involved. I don't think it's going away.
I mean, I hope not, but who knows with these things.
You know, it would be funny if like a mediocre quarterback wins like MVP every single year. Like next year, like with I don't know if the playoffs are expanding. I know that was a 1 year thing, but like next year I'm trying to think who might slip into the playoffs. You get like, damn.
Maybe you get like a Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew, MVP. Oh, he would eat that up. Yeah, he would definitely eat that up.
Hey, I already know who you're voting for if Sam Darnold is in the contest.
You're darn right I'd vote for Sam Darnold.
I've been seeing some Sam Darnold slander on the timeline lately. What's up with that? A lot of these analytics folks are going hard at him. They're saying, "Oh, bro, he's done. He's done."
I think friend of the podcast, Connor made a great point where it's like, okay, we don't judge Deshaun Watson. It's like Deshaun Watson's performed way better with a worse slate, especially this year with no DeAndre Hopkins. He found a way to throw for 4,000 yards. Let's see who else. Same thing with, I guess, Joe Burrow to lesser extent. He also mentioned Gardner Minshew. Like Gardner Minshew he's not a bad quarterback. He just has literally no one.
He's nice.
Like I just can't believe how that situation's played out where like people just decided that Gardner Minshew's trash, like because he's really not.
Agreed. But it's like it becomes tricky. I mean, this is a little, I guess, maybe more towards draft talk, but it's like now you're looking at Sam Darnold over here getting benched for what? Zach Wilson. Dude, did you see that clip of Zach Wilson fade away off his back foot, like 60-yard dart in stride? That was unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, it was beautiful for sure. I mean, Darnold made the same throw against the Niners this year too, down by 25 or down by 31 with like a minute left, but people don't know that because again, it's just hard. And I think it's a fair argument, like where it's like, yeah, Sam Darnold has had one of the worst supporting cast, but yeah, so did Deshaun Watson this past year.
Yeah. And I mean, but only one of them is being accused right now for.
I'm not gonna have any comment on that. It's a sad situation for sure.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'll avoid commenting on that.
Sure, I agree. Like, I'm making a joke about it, but it's like truly, I don't know the evidence either way, so it's hard to make a conclusion.
Yeah,
but we'll move on from that.
We will, and I think with us moving on, I think I think we're pretty much done here. Little update on Bucknell, a dominant 38-13 victory for the Bison this past weekend. So things are looking up. They have a huge clash with Holy Cross this weekend. Non-divisional opponent, so it does not affect their standing in the South Division of the Patriot League for conference championship purposes. But allegiances will be divided for sure. So it's like, what do I want? Do I want Holy Cross to win another Patriot League title, or do I want Bucknell to be a good omen for me? I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I just thought of an interesting idea. What if we get a little neutral party game? Bucknell Bison versus North Dakota State Bison. Battle of the Bison in Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Electric headline. Alliteration at the ass.
Battle of the Bison in Baltimore or in Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo is like the
that would be sick. That would be sick. That's even better. Look at you.
I'm surprised you didn't go for that, man. Like,
you know what? I did. I was thinking, dude, I've been watching The Wire, so I'm thinking of a B city, Baltimore, first to mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It's a good show. I mean, all I can think about when I think about The Wire is that one guy always going, "She." That's all I can think about. I think that's the funniest reaction ever.
Have you watched it?
I've seen clips,
okay.
Especially, I mean, mostly those clips of him just saying that.
That's funny. I have to look at I don't know who you're referencing, honestly, but that'd be interesting. That's funny.
Yeah. I think I saw it on Twitter. It was one of those Twitter reacts.
Well, I did see they have a certain scene where a guy, there's like this, it's just, I mean, I guess to describe the GIF itself, it's just, like, it's this like black character and he's like sitting right here. He's like, he's like all the surprised, like you would know it if you saw it, but dude, I like saw it in the show and I was just like, oh
yeah, like Leonardo.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, like the Spider-Man meme, it's like,
yeah.
Honestly, it's like if anyone's listening to this, it's like this must be the most confusing thing because I'm like sitting here trying to describe a GIF using like generic language, and if they're not watching this, if they're listening to it, it's like I can't imagine like how awful that is for like audio content. But
yeah, I mean for sure. That's why I guess you should watch on YouTube. I mean, but if you're washing the dishes, just put it on Spotify. No Apple Music yet. I don't know how to do that. but we'll see. I mean, unless Marshall's anything else to say.
Hey, you know what? I'm all good right here. I will say I think we forgot to mention earlier. Maybe we'll throw a little Patriot League on pre-golf, a little golf pregame.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But just another idea in the wind. Maybe we'll discuss that later. But
yeah,
so,
Nantz and Waltz.
Ooh, and I like that because that's two strong TZ ending names. Yeah. I like that. Exactly. It's very satisfying to say.
Nantz and Waltz. Yeah.
I feel like I'm in like on Nantucket. Nantz and Waltz. I'm in Nantucket watching Nantz and Waltz. I don't know.
Oh man, I got to buy one of those Jim Nantz collection polos now. Yeah, but you mentioned like Nantucket. I think about I guess it was Vineyard Vines, the partnership with Jim Nantz.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude!
That'll be feeling fresh, man. You'll be feeling fresh on date night wearing one of those.
Dude, I was just
watching. Hello, friends.
I was just watching. Oh, what's this dude's name on Twitter? It's like some meme dude, but he's like sitting there. He's like talking about hot guy summer or like white guy summer or some shit. And he's like, "Did you see that video?"
Well, is that Chet Hanks?
Yeah. He's sitting there. He's like, "Boys, no more Vineyard Vines, no more." I'm like, "Oh my god, it's so funny."
Chet Hanks is a clown. I mean,
I didn't even know he was. This is the first time I've seen a video of his. It's funny.
Yeah, I'll send you one after, but. He got famous for like talking Rastafarian after like the Grammys or something, and like,
oh my God.
My mom's Jamaican. I thought it was funny, but I'm like, dude, this guy is such a clown. Like,
dude, I thought when I saw his name, I was like, wait, is that the Da Vinci guy?
No, it is not.
But all right.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we'll put a close to it for sure. This has been fun, and until next time, peace, love, and soul, everyone.